Hey everyone! Ready to give your brain a workout? You know I love a good riddle, and let me tell you, I've got some real stumpers for you today. We're talking top 10, best of the best riddles that'll have you scratching your head and wondering, how did I come up with these? Get ready to dive in because we're about to unlock some serious brain power. Let's go! Alright, riddle enthusiasts, let's kick things off nice and easy. You know, like when you slide into a warm bath but the bath is filled with brain teasers. Our first riddle is a classic, but don't let that fool you. It's a good one. Are you ready? Here it is. What has keys but can't open locks? Interesting, right? Think about all those things with keys. Cars, doors, treasure chests. But they all open locks. So what could it be? Take a moment, let it simmer in your brain. The answer is coming up right after this. Slight pause. That's right, the answer is a keyboard. A keyboard has keys for letters, numbers, all sorts of things, but it can't open a single lock. Unless it's the password to your online banking, but that's a whole other story. Okay, riddle fans, that was just a warm-up. Let's crank up the heat with a time-twisting brain buster. This one's all about those tricky little things we take for granted, minutes, moments, and those ever-so-long 1,000 years. Here it is. What comes once in a minute, twice in a moment, but never in 1,000 years? Now this one's tricky, I know. It's like trying to juggle rubber chickens while riding a unicycle. On the moon. But don't worry, we'll figure it out together. Think about the words themselves. What's special about them? What makes them unique? The answer is closer than you think. And it all comes down to the letters. Slight pause. The answer is the letter M. See, it appears once in the word minute, twice in moment, and you guessed it, 0 times in 1,000 years. Pretty clever, huh? Alright, riddle solvers, get ready for a real head-scratcher. This next one is a little more abstract, a little more poetic, like a haiku written by a dolphin, wearing a monocle. Here it is. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Now this one's all about using your imagination. Think outside the box, or maybe even picture a box being blown away by the wind. What is it that can communicate without needing a physical form? What can be powerful and invisible all at once? Take a deep breath. Let your mind wander, and see if you can feel the answer. Slight pause. The answer is an echo. An echo can speak back to you, repeating your words, even though it has no mouth of its own. And while it doesn't have ears, it's created by sound, which is all about vibrations in the air. Plus, it needs the wind to travel and bounce off of things. Pretty cool, huh? Chapter 4. The more you take, the more you leave. What? Okay everyone, get ready for a real mindbender. This next riddle is like trying to fold a fitted sheet in the dark while riding a roller coaster. It's all about contradictions, about things that don't seem to make sense but somehow do. Here it is. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Now this one's a real doozy. It's like trying to walk a straight line after spinning around 10 times while balancing a pineapple on your head. But don't worry, I have faith in you. Think about actions, about things we do every day. What is something that the more we take, the more we leave behind us? It's right there at your fingertips, or maybe even under your feet. Slight pause. The answer is footsteps. Think about it. Every step you take, you leave another footprint behind you. The more you walk, the more footprints you leave in your wake. Pretty clever, right? Chapter 5. The Riddle of the Living Dead. Plant? Alright, riddle champions, let's dive into the natural world with this next one. It's all about the mysteries of nature, about those things that seem to defy logic but are all around us every day. Here it is. I am not alive, but I can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? This one's tricky, like trying to teach a goldfish to play the ukulele, but I know you're up for the challenge. Think about the things in nature that share some but not all of the characteristics of living creatures. What can grow without truly being alive? What needs air to thrive but doesn't breathe in the same way we do? The answer is right under your nose, or maybe even in your backyard. Slight pause. The answer is fire. Fire can grow larger and spread, even though it's not alive in the traditional sense. It needs air, or more specifically oxygen, to burn, and while it doesn't have lungs, it can be extinguished by water. Pretty cool, huh? Chapter 6. A Heart of Stone, or Something Else. Okay folks, let's take a little break from all the head-scratching with a riddle that's short, sweet, and to the point. Don't worry, it's still a brain teaser, just like trying to resist petting a cute puppy while wearing a sweater made of bacon. Here it is. What has a heart that doesn't beat? This one's all about wordplay, about those everyday objects we might overlook. What has a heart in a symbolic or metaphorical way? What kind of heart doesn't actually pump blood? The answer is closer than you think, and it might just be in your hand right now. Slight pause. The answer is an artichoke. That's right, an artichoke heart is the delicious center of the artichoke, but it doesn't actually beat like a real heart. See, I told you it was a quick one, but don't worry, we'll be back with more brain-bending riddles right after this. Alright, Riddle Masters, are you ready for another challenge? This one's all about words, but not just any words, words with multiple meanings. It's like trying to have a conversation with a parrot that only speaks in puns. Here it is. I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Now this one's all about thinking outside the box. Or maybe even thinking inside a box of crayons. What single word can have all of these different meanings? What can be both fragile and powerful, both true and fictional? The answer is on the tip of your tongue. Literally. Slight pause. The answer is a joke. You can crack a joke, make up a joke, tell a joke, and even play a joke on someone. See, words can be tricky, but that's what makes them so much fun. Okay, Globetrotters, let's take a trip around the world with this next riddle. It's all about geography, but not as you know it. It's like trying to navigate with a compass that points to the nearest pizza place. Here it is. What has cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water? This one's all about thinking abstractly, about seeing the world in a different way. What kind of cities don't have houses in the traditional sense? What kind of forests don't have trees made of wood? The answer is right there in front of you, or maybe even spread out on your table. Slight pause. The answer is a map. A map has cities represented by dots or symbols, forests represented by green areas, and rivers represented by blue lines, but none of these things are actually present on the map itself. It's a representation of the world, not the world itself. Pretty clever, huh? Alright, riddle enthusiasts, get ready for a real head-scratcher. This next one is all about perspective, about those things that seem impossible until you look at them from a different angle. It's like trying to eat soup with a fork, while riding a unicycle. Here it is. What can travel around the world while staying in a corner? Now this one's a real doozy. It's like trying to pat your head and rub your stomach, while juggling 3 rubber chickens. But don't worry, I have faith in you. Think about things that travel, but don't actually move from their spot. What can be in multiple places at once without actually leaving its original location? The answer is closer than you think, and it might just be stuck to your fridge. Slight pause. The answer is a stamp. A stamp can travel around the world on letters and packages, but it always remains in the corner of the envelope or package until it reaches its destination. Pretty clever, right? Okay, riddle solvers, we've reached the final challenge. This last one is a classic, a real brain teaser that's been stumping people for ages. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's all about seeing the world in a different way. Here it is. What has an eye but cannot see? Now this one's a real head-scratcher. It's like trying to count to infinity, on one hand, but don't worry, I know you can do it. Think about all the things we associate with the word eye. What has an eye in a metaphorical sense but not a real working eye? The answer is closer than you think, and it might just be staring you right in the face. Slight pause. The answer is a needle. A needle has an eye at one end where you thread the string, but it can't see a thing. Wow, what a workout. Give yourselves a round of applause, Riddle champions. You've laughed, you've learned, you've probably even done a few eye rolls along the way. How many riddles did you get right? Be honest, no peeking at your neighbor's answers. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more brain-bending fun, and share it with your friends. Especially the ones who think they know all the answers. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and remember, life's too short not to laugh at a good riddle. See you later.